Hello everyone, hope you all are doing well. So today we are going to discuss the next answer copy of our Aim for Agriculture series. So as you all know that we are having Aim for Agriculture series in which we are having daily answer writing practice and weekly full tests. And we are discussing the copies of all daily answer writing practice and all full tests. So today we are going to discuss the next copy, that is the full test number 6. We have already discussed the copies up to full test 5, and today we will be discussing the copy of full test number 6. And actually this test covered sectional syllabus comprising package of practices, plant protection, that is various diseases, various pests, their management, etc. So we will see how the student has approached the answer, and by analyzing these types of answer, it can be very helpful for you in writing your answers and improving your answer writing skills. You can see how to structure the answers. By reading the answers, you can get certain points. By reading the answer, you can get certain examples, and you can also develop a way to approach these types of answers. So let's see what the questions were and how the student has approached the answer. So the first question that was to discuss the package of practices of following crops indicating varieties, seed treatment, nutrient management, irrigation management, harvest and yield, and 5 crops were mentioned, and the student has to discuss the package of practices of all those 5 crops using these things. Okay. So the first crop was lentil. Okay. So lentil is a pulse crop generally grown in arid and semi-arid regions, and as we all know, like other pulse crops, it is valued for high protein content. Now its varieties have been mentioned, that is L4147, Pusa 6, Pusa 24, L4594, K75. So I think many students ask me how much varieties can we write in answers. So actually there is no limit. You can write as much varieties as you know, but still try to remember at least 2 to 3 varieties. Okay, at least if you will write at least 2 to 3 varieties of all the important crops, it will be helpful for you and you will fit fair amount of marks. Now seed treatment have been mentioned by using thiram, by using carbendazim. So the nutrient requirement have been mentioned, how much nitrogen is required, how much phosphorus is required, how much potassium is required. So a well written answer. And if you want to, as I will be discussing the points in brief, so if you want to read the answers in detail, so you can pause the video and read the answers in detail. अगर आपको डिटेल में आंसर्स पढ़ना है तो simply you can pause the video and read it. Then irrigation management have been mentioned, that is around 2 to 3 irrigations have been required as per the rainfall. If the rainfall is good, we can limit our irrigations. If the rainfall is low, we have to enhance the irrigation schedules. Okay, so the first irrigation at branching stage, second at pod filling stage. So nicely written answer. Harvest and yield have been also mentioned and again fairly concluded. So this was the first crop. The second crop was maize. So we all know that maize is a very important crop when it comes to India. The important varieties, that is DHM 117, HQPM 1, Vivek 21, Pratap QPM hybrid 1. So good amount of varieties have been mentioned. Again, seed treatment by using Thyram and Captam can be done, and you can see that common points. In most of the crops you can use Thyram. In many crops you can use carbendazim. So what you have to do, because remembering these points of all the important crops will not be easy. In most of the crops, azospirillum can be used. So what you have to do, you have to just write these common points. Okay, the common chemicals or the common biochemicals used in seed treatment, the common herbicides used, the common pesticides used. Okay, the common diseases you have to identify, because suppose there are horticultural crops, so most of the fruits have certain common diseases. So you have to play here smartly by identifying these common points, so that whenever crops have been asked, you can write those common points and fetch a fair amount of marks. So though through by using these techniques, such as suppose there is nutrient requirement only, so most of the cereals, most of the millets, and most of the pulses have similar types of nutrient requirement. So by remembering those common points, by working smartly, you can develop a efficient way to develop to approach the package of practice questions, and you will fetch good amount of marks. Again, you can say nutrient requirement have been mentioned, 120 kg of nitrogen, 60 kg of phosphorus, 40 kg of potassium, and you can say split application is to be done. That is one by third of nitrogen at sowing, one by third at knee high stage, one by third at tasseling stage. So here tasseling is very important when it comes to maize. Again, irrigation requirement or irrigation management have been mentioned. Critical stages for irrigation have been mentioned. So well written answer and harvest and yield have been mentioned. So this was the second crop. Now let's move to the third crop. The third crop is sorghum. So as we know, recently 1 2 years the millets are highly in use. So prepare all the millets because there are high chances that they could be asked. So sorghum, you all know, is one of the most important crop when it comes to millet. It is drought resilient. It is used as fodder. It is good in macronutrients, good in fibers. Varieties have been mentioned: CSH16, CHS25, CSB15, M35. One seed treatment, again you will be able to see thyrum, carbendazole, mesospiralium. So that is what I was trying to say, that highlight those common points and write them separate so that it could be easy for you to remember things and easy for you to approach the answer. Again, nutrient management, here again we have to do split application at different stages. Irrigation management have been mentioned, harvest and yield have been mentioned. So if you want to read the answers, please pause the video and read it in detail. So now let's move to the next crop. So the next crop is groundnut. So we all know that groundnut is vital oil seeds. So instead of writing these things, you can also write the states which are the highest producers. Okay. Although you should write these things, but you can also add a point and mention that, for example, groundnut the highest producer is Gujarat. So like this, you can add states also, highest producer. If you remember them, it will enhance your answers. Again, varieties such as TG26, GG2, GL24, TMV2, IG, ICGS11. The good amount of varieties have been mentioned. Again, you will see in seed treatment, thyrum, rhizobium. These things have been used. Again, nutrient management, gypsum can be used. So, well written answer. Again, in irrigation management, critical stages such as flowering, pegging, and pod development. These two are very important points when it comes to groundnut. So, please do understand what pegging is, what pod development is. I have discussed all these things in videos in the agriculture optional where I have discussed the package of practices. So, you can refer those videos, refer those static videos. Again, harvest and yield have been mentioned. So well written answer. Now let's move to the next crop. The next crop is the pigeon pea. Again, pigeon pea is a legume crop. Varieties have been mentioned such as Pusa 9, UPS 120, ICPL 87, ICPL 151, BDN2. So nicely written answer. Seed treatment, again thyrum captain is used. Rhizobium can be used. Again, nutrient management have been mentioned. Foliar spray can be done. Irrigation management have been mentioned. Harvest and yield have been mentioned. So if you want to read the answers in detail, you can pause and read. Now let's move to the next question. So the next question is, discuss in detail the package of practices of mango. So in the first question you will see that in the 5 crops there were mentioned that we have to discuss the package of practices only on those 5 points. That is varieties, fertilizer requirement, irrigation management, etc. But when in detail have been mentioned, you have to discuss all the points. Okay. So let's see how the student has mentioned. And one thing I must let you know, and I have highlighted further in the answer also, that don't do the silly mistakes. Whenever you are writing biological names, please do underline those biological names, okay? Because these silly mistakes can give a bad impression of you to the examiner. So please do not miss these things. Try to highlight the scientific name. Try to underline the scientific name. Sorry, not highlight. Underline the scientific name because it is in the rules. Now, varieties have been mentioned such as Alfonso, Daseri, Kesar, Langda, Hemsagar, Totapuri, Bangapali. Although student has written a lot of varieties, but I will suggest not write that much of varieties. 3 to 4 varieties are enough. Now, planting time has been mentioned. Distance has been mentioned. 10 into 10 meter method have been mentioned. How you can plant. So please pause the video and read it if you want to. Again, propagation has been maintained through grafting, through root stocks. Nutrient management for different ages has been mentioned. Please pause and read it if you want to. And again, irrigation management have been mentioned at different stages of life. Okay, training and pruning has been mentioned. Pest and disease management, the major pests such as mango, hopper, fruit flower, how they can be managed. So here I must let you know, such as here malathion. So malathion is a common pesticide which is used in most of the pests. So you can simply write malathion, and if you don't know any name of any pests, and if you want to write in package of practice, you can simply add malathion. It will be not be wrong. Okay, so that is what I was trying to say. How you can work smartly in package of practices questions. Again, diseases have been mentioned. So we can use sulfur carbendazime for the treatment of body mildew. So most of the fungal diseases can be treated by carbendazime. Now intercropping has been mentioned, harvesting has been mentioned. If you want to read the answers in detail, you can pause and read it. Post harvest management have been mentioned and again appropriately concluded. Now the next question was, discuss the status of fruit production in India, highlighting the major fruits and states producing them. Okay. So as we all know that India is the second largest fruit production in the world. First is China, and you can use this in your introduction. Now, what are the major fruits and states producing them? So, mango, states mentioned, varieties mentioned. Although varieties was not asked in the question, but still, yes, varieties was not asked in the question, but still, student has mentioned it. So, you write 2 3 varieties. There is no concern on it. And banana states such as mango, you can see the states such as UP, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu for banana. And you can see the student has also mentioned that in how much percent of global production do India has. Okay, so, such as in banana, student has mentioned around 25% of global production. So these points enhance your answers. So you can see banana can be produced in states such as Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh. Almost all states can produce banana, but still you can highlight 3 4 important states where the production is high. Citrus fruit have been mentioned, again states such as Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh have been mentioned, apple have been mentioned, and you can see the varieties also are also mentioned. So you can pause the video and write these varieties also, because it could be helpful you in remembering the varieties, because most of the things can be similar but varieties will never be similar, and at least 2 to 3 varieties you should remember of all the important crops, all the important fruits, all the important vegetables, all the important flowers. So that is important. Apple, Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh; grapes, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh; guava. So well written answer. All the crops, all the fruits have been mentioned. Papaya, lychee. You can pause the video and read it. And again, all the post-harvest losses and opportunities have been also mentioned. So well written answer. Organic farming, the potential of organic farming have been also highlighted with giving the example of Sikkim, and now Kerala is working very much very much in good amount to develop itself in organic farming. So Kerala could be a good state when it comes to organic farming. Now the next question was, write the names of major insect pests of citrus and describe the nature of damage and management of any one of them. So we can see the student has mentioned in the introduction that according to Food and Agriculture Organization, 1 to 2% of all known insect species are classified pests. So although fairly written introduction, but here the student could have been written more about the insect pest of citrus, how much there is damage in citrus pests due to insect. But what I was trying to highlight here, that whenever you are using some kind of data, try to write the source. It is very important. So if you write the source, this enhances your answer. Now, what are the major insect pests of citrus? They are citrus leaf miner. Again, you can see these things needs to be underlined. The citrus leaf miner, citrus psyllid, citrus aspid. So these are the important major pests of citrus. So whenever some of the I think yes, the question is asked about names, only names, and describe any one of them. So the student has discussed about citrus leaf miner. So what are the nature of damage have been mentioned, that the larva feed on epidermal layer. The damage leads to the formation of silvery winding trail on the leaves, causing them curl, distort, and look scorched. And again, see, you can see management have been mentioned. So in cultural control, pruning can be done. In biological control, use of natural predators can be used, such as use of wasps. Chemical control can be done using such of insecticides such as imidacloprid, another spinosad can be used, neem oil can be used. It is a biochemical. And again, integrated pest management is done, and it is generally suggested to do integrated pest management. So well written answer. Now let's move to the next question. The next question is, discuss the causal organism, symptom and management of powdery mildew of rose and soft root of ginger. So we can see, so powdery mildew of rose is the caused by fungus, and here you can see the student has underlined. So good. The symptoms have been mentioned such as white powdery coating on leaves, buds and flowers of rose plant, leaf curling, stunted growth. So these are the some of the symptoms. Premature leaf drop. Management have been mentioned again. Same approach have been taken by student. First, writing of cultural practices, within chemical control, use of fungicides such as uh, mic- myclobutanil, triforine, and again biological control and integrated pest management. So very good approach, a very good structure, that using all the important points in cultural, chemical, biological and integrated methods. Again, soft root of ginger has been explained, that is caused by bacterium. Okay, and again here it should be underlined, the name should be underlined. Symptoms have been mentioned such as it creates lesions, the infected rhizome becomes soft, mushy and emit fall odor, yellowing and wilting of leaves, affected plants show stunted growth. So well written points. And again, management you can see very well written by using cultural, chemical and biological and integrated pest management methods. And you can see in chemical control, copper oxychloride body has been mentioned. So you can pause the video and read it in detail. Some fungi treatment with fungicides such as metaxil can be used. So well written answer. Now let's move to the next question. So the next question is, what is alternate bearing in mango and apple? Discuss its major causes and also suggest the measures. So what is alternate bearing? So in alternate bearing, you will see that in one year the production will be very high, in very good amount, and in the second year the production will be at lower levels. So you can see the production will be good in alternate years. Okay, so that is what alternate bearing, and it is commonly seen in mango and apple. Okay, so alternate bearing has been defined. Now, what is the major cause of alternate bearing in mango? It could be nutrient imbalance, water stress, and fair amount of points have been mentioned. You can pause and read it if you want to. Management measures have been also mentioned, such as apply balanced mix of macro and macronutrients. For good water management, we should use drip irrigation, regular pruning, ensure flowering, rejuvenate with older trees, pruning with additional nutrients. And in management, you can also add one point, that is use of varieties which are uh, not which don't show the alternate bearing. So there are certain varieties in mangoes which do not show alternate bearing, so that those varieties can be also used. Similarly, the alternate bearing in apple have been mentioned, and you can pause and read it. Similar points have been written. Management measures are also similar. So well written answer. Let's move to the next question. So next question is, discuss the constraints of arid food production in India. So what is arid food production? That is which is produced in the arid regions of our country, such as states such as Rajasthan. So what are the constraints there? Obviously the major constraint is water scarcity, and you can see the student has written the issue, impact and management have been also mentioned in the same point. So very well written and very well structured answer. Soil degradation is another major problem. Similarly, extreme temperatures also affect the production. Limited biodiversity is there due to arid conditions. Pest and disease management should be there, and pest and disease problem is a major problem in arid areas, because most of the pest and diseases thrive at higher temperature, but the normal plants are not able to not properly capable of that temperature to fight with those pests and diseases. Lack of technical knowledge is another problem. So well written answer. Now let's move to the next question. So next question was about write a note on sex expression in papaya. So fairly written answer. Again, you can say here it should be underlined. The scientific name should be underlined. Never do such type of mistakes in examinations. These silly mistakes can cost you some good amount of marks. Six types have been mentioned. Six determination have been mentioned. So you can pause and read it if you want to. Cultivation practices have been mentioned. Sex expression in breeding has been mentioned. So well written answer. Also, this needs to be elaborated. Okay. Now let's move to the next question. The next question was discuss some of the medicinal use of sarpagandha. So again, you can see I have also highlighted here too that always underline the biological names or scientific names. So we all know that sarpagandha has varied medical uses such as it can be very helpful in hypertension management. It can be helpful in mental health disorders. It helps in our digestive health. It helps in fever and inflammation, reproductive health, antimalarial and antimicrobial properties, safety and side effects. So you, although these points should be mentioned separately, but overall fairly written, no problem. You can write these types of points. Now let's move to the next question. The next question is discuss the symptoms and management of late blight of potato. So what are the symptoms? Generally, late blight of potato is caused by the pathogen Phytophthora infestans. What are its symptoms? First of all, you will be able to see initial lesions in the potato. Then those lesions will start expanding, and then it will lead to blightening. Okay. Severe symptoms in these are the symptoms in leaf. In stems, you will see dark lesions. Stems will start to collapse. In tuber, you will see surface lesions. You will see decay inside the tuber. Now for management, again this student has very nicely written cultural practices, resistant varieties. So whenever you are writing the point of resistant varieties, if you can highlight one to resistant varieties, that enhances the answers. Okay, so use example if you can in these points. Fungicide application, biocontrol agents monitoring. So fairly written answer. So I hope you are able to understand. If you want to read the answers in detail, you can pause and read it. The next question was describe the integrated pest management of cotton whitefly. So cotton whitefly, that is Bemisia tawai. So how you can do integrated pest management? First of all, we will do cultural control such as use of crop rotation techniques, intercropping, sanitation, plant spacing should be good for fair air circulation. For biological control, you can use natural predators such as lady beetles or other predatory bugs. For parasitic, wasps can be used. Fungal pathogen can be used. For chemical control, we can use certain chemicals such as growth regulators such as burophagine. We can use selective insecticides, other resistant management techniques with rotation of insecticides can be done. Mixing of insecticides can be done. Mechanical and physical control have been mentioned such as use of yellow strip traps. What do these traps do? They attract and capture the white flies. Pheromone traps can be used. Mulching can be used. We need to do proper monitoring and surveillance, because if by proper monitoring you can understand and establish a threshold level, and whenever you are seeing that the population is exceeding those threshold level, you can apply the control methods. So fairly written answer, you can pause and read it. Now let's move to the next question. The next question was discuss the types and management of mango malformation. So what is mango malformation? It's lead to the abnormal growth and reduced field yield, and it is caused by fungal pathogens, genetic issues, and hormonal imbalances. There are certain types of mango malformation such as vegetative malformation, floral malformation, mixed malformation, which can be caused by both the things, that is vegetative and floral parts, both are involved in it. How can it be managed? By using cultural practices, by using chemical control, genetic management. So what I am liking in this student's answer that he has the structured the answer very well. So it helps you in getting good marks, because it is easier for the examiner to check your copies, and you can see the structure is very well done. So you can use this kind of structure to enhance your answers. Again, biological control, integrated management. So everything has been well mentioned. Now, the next question is discuss the package of practices of sugarcane. So, how can we cultivate sugarcane? First of all, we do land preparation. The soil type required is loamy drained soil of pH around 6.5 to 7.5. Plowing should be done, leveling should be done. Why should we do leveling? To prevent waterlogging and to enhance good drainage. Seed selection and treatment should be done. Again, you can see the use of carbendazime. So carbendazime is generally used because in seeds sometimes fungal infections develop and there is fungus present. So carbendazime helps to control those. Bevestine can be used. Okay. So these are some of the common chemicals used. Varieties have been mentioned such as CO0238, CO86032, CO0118. Seed set should be healthy. Planting time has been mentioned. Planting method has been mentioned. Density has been mentioned. Nutrient requirement has been mentioned. Again, irrigation management have been mentioned. So while it an answer, you can pause and read it. Pest and disease management have been mentioned. The common pests such as early shoot borer, top shoot borer, white grubs, and how can they be managed using ferment drops, using indosuflan, using chlorophyrifos. Diseases, common diseases are red rot, smut, wilt. So all these things have been mentioned, and you can see in wilt fungicides have been written. But for example, the name of one to fungicide can also be mentioned to enhance the answers. And you can see here ratoon management is a specific feature done in sugarcane, so you should know it. Ratooning, harvesting and post harvest had been mentioned, and yield has been mentioned. So well written answer. So I hope you like it. And for yield improvement practices, you can do trash mulching, use of biofertilizers. PGRs can be used such as GA3. What GA3 do? It elongates the distance between two internodes and increases the height of sugarcane. So with the increase of height of sugarcane, the content of the sugar juice, or you can say the liquid content of the sugarcane increases. So that could be done. And the next question was, describe the methods of planting and post harvest management of onions. So you can see what are the methods of planting. Either we can plant using direct seedling, procedure has been mentioned, you can pause and read it. Either we can plant using transplanting, again you can see procedure has been mentioned. Or we can use set planting. We can also do set planting. That onion sets can be directly planted into the fields. And again you can see procedure has been mentioned, so very well structured answer. And the post harvest management have been also mentioned, such as use of maturity indicators, methods have been used, curing has been mentioned, storage and grading has been mentioned. So well detailed answer. Marketing has also been mentioned, so you can pause and read it if you want to. Value addition has been mentioned. Now let's move to the last question of this question paper, this answer. So last question is, mention the crops for which MSP is provided and also highlight any one of its improved variety. So here question is asking that highlight the crop for which MSP is been mentioned. Suppose the crop is paddy, and also highlight one of its varieties, either Jaya, Ratna, anything. Okay, so this is how the question was asking. So you can see the crop for which MSP is provided is cereals for cereals, paddy, wheat, maize, barley, jowar, bajra and ragi. For pulses, masoor, urad, moong, tur and gram. For wild seeds, soyabean, rapeseed, mustard, safflower, sesame, Niger seed, sunflower seeds, groundnut have been mentioned. Commercial crops such as cotton, copra, jute, although FRP is given to sugarcane, but that is also mentioned, so carefully written. Other crops, thoria, dehused, coconut. But why the student has confused here that the student highlighted the variety of just paddy. The student confused that the question is asking of highlighting only varieties of any one crop. So it was not the thing that the question was asking about the highlighting one variety of all crops. So no problem. Sometimes we do confuse, but we should read the questions properly to avoid these types of confusions, because these can cost us marks. And you can see characteristics of Swarna has been also mentioned, so there was no need, because there is no not asked in the question. But overall, okay, sometimes do mistakes and we learn from it. So that was well written, and you can see that in the conclusion part, the student has mentioned about Swarna sub, which I have mentioned here, that conclude about writing about MSP, because the question is, the keyword in the question is MSP. The question is directly asking the answer for MSP. So you should keep in mind that when what is the core word, please do introduce and conclude using those only. So I hope you understand all the answers, you liked all the answers, you have paused at different intervals and read the answers, because that could be very helpful for you. So that is all for today. Please press the like button, please do share, and please do subscribe. It takes a lot of hard work to make such videos for you on regular basis. Regular basis में ऐसे videos बनाने के लिए काफी hard work लगता है. And if you like, if you share, if you subscribe, it motivates us to make more such videos for you regularly. So that is all for today. Have a nice day. Thank you.